The national martial arts demonstration had attracted athletes, coaches, veterans, and fans from across the country. The main arena was filled to capacity as cameras broadcast the event live to millions of viewers. The final session of the day featured a discussion on martial arts philosophy, where respected instructors shared their views on discipline, training, and personal growth. As the audience listened, one decorated Marine veteran, Captain Daniel Ross, was invited to speak. Known for his years of military service and demanding training, he stepped confidently onto the stage and addressed the crowd. "In my career," he said, "I've learned that skill must always be tested." He paused before continuing. "People often call Bruce Lee one of the greatest martial artists in history. I respect his influence, but I wonder how his approach would compare against modern combat training." The audience murmured with curiosity. A few moments later, a calm figure dressed in simple black training clothes walked onto the stage. It was Bruce Lee. The crowd rose to its feet in applause as Bruce bowed respectfully to Captain Ross, who returned the gesture with equal respect. Bruce smiled and said, "Every martial artist has something to teach and something to learn." Captain Ross nodded. "Then let's have a friendly demonstration," he replied, "not to prove who is superior, but to learn from each other's methods." The audience welcomed the idea with enthusiastic applause. A referee stepped forward, explained that the exhibition would emphasize control, safety, and sportsmanship, and reminded everyone that neither participant was trying to harm the other. As the demonstration began, Captain Ross moved carefully, using disciplined footwork and measured strikes inspired by his military hand-to-hand training. Bruce remained relaxed, observing every movement before responding. Rather than meeting force with force, he used angles, distance, and timing to avoid attacks by the smallest margin. Each exchange drew cheers from the audience because it highlighted skill rather than aggression. Whenever Bruce created an opening, he stopped his technique just short of contact, demonstrating control instead of seeking to overwhelm his opponent. As the demonstration continued, Captain Ross adjusted his tactics, combining quick combinations with attempts to control distance. Bruce adapted just as quickly, changing rhythm and position without wasting movement. Martial arts instructors seated in the front rows watched with great interest, pointing out how both men remained calm under pressure. It became clear that the exhibition wasn't about deciding which background was better. Instead, it showed how different training methods could teach valuable lessons. Captain Ross's discipline, endurance, and composure complemented Bruce's speed, precision, and adaptability. The audience applauded every respectful exchange, appreciating the mutual professionalism shown by both participants. Near the end of the exhibition, the referee called time. Captain Ross smiled, extended his hand, and said, "Today reminded me that real confidence doesn't come from dismissing someone else's experience. It comes from staying open to learning." Bruce shook his hand warmly and replied, "The greatest victory is improving yourself." The crowd stood for a long ovation as both men bowed to one another. Reporters later described the event not as a contest to determine the strongest fighter, but as a memorable demonstration of humility, respect, and lifelong learning. As Bruce quietly left the stage, many young students realized that the most important lesson of the day wasn't how to throw a punch. It was how to approach every challenge with discipline, curiosity, and respect for others.